babies. How y'all doing? Yeah, I'm back once again. I got some more news. I decided, as long as stuff is going on that we need to stay in touch with and about, then I'm going to just keep coming back here talking to you and everything that needs to be done. And update you on what I found. Now, like every day, I told you I'm going to put a little something on here and let you know about fraud, waste, and corruption in our government, be it state or federal. And so I've got some wonderful little things from the Department of Education. Yeah, I'll get to them in a minute. But first, I want to talk about something that prompted me to use the description is look beneath the surface. A lot of things that appear to be one thing might actually be something else or for another purpose. Now, our good friends up there in Canada, little Trudeau, evoked the Emergencies Act. And that gives him temporary broad powers that otherwise their constitution wouldn't allow him to do. And it's supposed to only be used in extreme circumstances. Now, they've had terrorism, they've had the BLM riots, and all of the other things, and they had people killed during these things, and nobody evoked the Emergency Act of actual terrorism. Nobody's been killed in the protests of the truckers. No property has been destroyed. There may have been some angry words exchanged, one side to the other. I've not seen any, but that's not to say it didn't happen. Because, people are people, and you get two opposing sides together, they're going to say some nasty stuff to each other. Generally speaking, that's what protesting is about. But I digress. The reason I'm saying look beneath the surface, the finance minister came out and made a statement. And I want you to pay close attention to some of what I say, because this has far-reaching implications. Chrystia Freeland, who is the Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister, outlined several measures that include expanding money laundering and anti-terrorism powers. So these protesters are now terrorists? And the reason they're doing this is to control the online crowdfunding platforms that help finance the protests. Okay? Now that should tell you, but if you're not clued in, let me just dig a little deeper. Credit card processors and fundraising services will be required to report any blockade-related campaigns to Canada's anti-money laundering agency. So, if you're a bank or a credit card service, you need to look at all the transactions on all your cards and find out if anybody used those to donate to the Truckers Protest Fund. Now, let's dig a little deeper. The police will be exchanging information with banks about protesters, and their personal and business accounts may be frozen. Did you hear that? The police are going to be exchanging information with the banks about the protesters, and their personal and business accounts may be frozen. Was any of the BLM protesters arrested? Was their bank accounts frozen? Well, and they killed people and they destroyed businesses. None of their shit was frozen. I'm not done. That's bad enough. But insurance companies will be required to revoke insurance on any vehicles used in the blockade. This, my friends, is pure tyranny. Pure tyranny. They're going to freeze your money and they're going to remove insurance from your vehicle, which means you cannot drive it. This is happening in Canada. And you think it can't happen here? Canada, for God's sakes. Probably some of the most polite people on the face of the earth. And they're treating their citizens like this because they don't agree with what the government's doing with the health care mandates. If you're not awake and you're not paying attention to what is happening, shame on you. You best be paying attention because this is coming here. It's not going to stay in Canada. This is an opportunity for the people that want to destroy Western civilization to do so with our own laws. Pay attention. Now, how about we clean up the Department of Education? Or let's just get rid of it, shall we? I wanted to see what they've been doing, so I did a little research. All right? Let me just hit some of the highlights, because there's probably about over 100 pages of individual, oh my God. I just picked some highlights. 25 colleges and universities with the largest endowments in the country reaped $6.9 billion in Department of Education funding, despite holding $250 billion in existing assets. You understand what I'm saying? They have $250 billion in the bank and in assets. And they need $6.9 billion of taxpayers' money to operate. Really? This money was all distributed as grants, contracts, and direct payments, as well as student loans for the 2017-2018 school year. So, let's recap. $6.9 billion in only 25 colleges. For 1 year. We don't have enough money for Social Security because, woo, man. Now then, the 50 lowest performing junior and community colleges in the nation received $923.5 million in ED student loans and grants in 17-18 school year. Of these 50 schools, the 10 which received the most federal funding, the 10 schools that got the biggest part of the pie, had a 12% graduation rate on average. We spent $923.5 million to these 50 schools, and 10 of them only graduated 12% of their student body. Now, I don't know what you consider success or an effective program. But I don't know of a single high school that has that bad of a graduation rate. Please, if you know a high school that can't graduate more than 12% of their seniors, please let me know. I've never heard of it. These are colleges. This is federal taxpayer money that's going for what exactly? What? Non-traditional schools also got millions of dollars, $51.4 million, including a school for wooden boat making. They got $781,330. An Arizona college for gunsmithing. Now, explain to me why the federal government, which is highly peopled with people that hate guns, would spend that much money to teach people how to fix them. A school, wait a minute, are you sitting down? If not, sit. Because you might pass out on this one. $10.4 million for a school for gambling and bartending. Hello. And $4.5 million for a professional golfer's career college. I got nothing against golf. But come on. Really? The average wage at the education department in 2017 was $109,918. The average employee cost tax payers $143,992, including benefits. On May the 18th, the education department disclosed 3,818 employees, a large decrease from the 4,642 employees of 2012. Now, mind you, with all of this money being spent in this huge bureaucracy that we call the Department of Education, we have consistently, since 1970, went down in our ranking in the world every single year. At what point does a reasonable person say, this is bullshit, and somebody needs to be accountable? Is there anybody accountable? Anybody? ever. $700 million in federal funding went to schools of cosmetology, beauty, and hair. Including millions of dollars to industry juggernauts like Empire Beauty School. Hope you're still there. Empire Beauty School got $65.6 million, and Tricosi University of Beauty Culture $12 million in the form of grants, direct payments, and contracts. Whew. Federal funding of $10.5 billion flowed to for-profit colleges. For-profit colleges. Not for-profit. And many of the for-profit colleges have been cited for alleged discrimination, harassment, and even fraud. This funding is comprised of grants, direct payments, and contracts. It gets better. The Education Department spent $1.6 billion. $1.6 billion hiring companies to collect and disperse federal student loans. We pay people $1.5 billion to give away our money and then collect it back. Woo! Then the Department of Education employees spent 6,522 working hours in 2016 doing union activities rather than working their jobs. This was known as official time. Now, I'm just going to spitball here and, paint with a real broad brush and think to myself, what percentage of those union members do you think are liberals? I'll wait. How many? You think it's 50-50? 60-40? 70-30? 80-20? More like 90-something to whatever's left. My guess. Anyway, they ended it in March of 2018, so it's over. And it saved the taxpayers roughly $500,000 annually in actual salaries paid to the people while they did union work. Really? Now, here, the top 5 recipient states claim 30% of all of the Department of Education's funding. Are you ready? Number 1, California, $18.6 billion. Number 2, my state, Texas, $12.6 billion. Number 3, New York, with $11.9 billion, and Florida with $9.5 billion, Illinois with $7.2 billion. This funding includes grants, contracts, direct payments, as well as student loans for 17-18. So, that's my report today on what I consider to be wasted ass money taxpayer money going through the federal government, through the Department of Education. And it improves our overall scholastic scoring 0. We fall farther behind most Western civilizations on the face of the earth every frickin' year. We have college students that can't pass an 1865 fifth grade test. What are you going to do about it, America? Ignore it? We've been doing that for 50 years, and this is where we're at. And what's going on in Canada right now, and what's going on in Australia, what's going on in Europe, what's going on in New Zealand is coming here. And it's going to be here before Biden's out of office. You best do something. If not, us alphas will be fine. But there's going to be hundreds of thousands starve to death, get killed by people fighting each other over crumbs. It's going to happen. You don't believe it because you've never seen it in your life. You've been coddled most of your life. You might think you had a horrible, horrible life. I've been around the world. I know horrible. Nobody in America has experienced horrible. But you're fixing to if you don't get your head out your ass. Just my observation. I could be wrong. I don't think so. Anyway, let me know what you think, because this is easy information to find if you care enough about our country to just do a little bit of research. You got it at your fingertips. You don't even have to go to the damn library. You don't need a library card. Don't need to know Dewey Decimal. Nothing. You just you can do it right on your phone. And if you don't know how, ask your grandkid. They'll show you. I'm just saying, we got the midterm elections coming up, and the best thing we can do right now is shut Biden down. And the only way you can do that is to vote every single Democrat out of office. We got to send a message. We got to send a message that is so strong it can't be cheated. That is so strong they can't stuff enough ballot boxes to override the election. We have to get rid of every Democrat at every level, from city to federal government. Decimate the whole entire party. And then, the next 2 years before the presidential, we had better see from these people that we put in office performance, not bullshit. Don't want to hear a speech. I want to see results. I don't care what you think, what you say, what you promise. We've heard it our whole life. It is time to save the country. So shit or get off the pot. What? Too harsh? I'm sorry, but it's going to require this level of harshness to straighten this country out. The alphas need to stand. It's time to stand. Let me know what you think. I love y'all. See you next time.